Hello guys, welcome to yet another episode of AML Talks. Today we'll be talking about Plotly. Plotly is an advanced Python library for advanced visualizations. So previously we had looked into Matplotlib and Seaborn, and now today we'll be looking into Plotly. So let's directly move into the code part and see how we will use it. Okay, the first thing that you need to do is we need to install Plotly. So you just do pip install Plotly and it will install that packages. So I have just used pandas and numpy also, so I've installed that also. So just run this thing and you will, like, as I have already installed, so it is showing me already installed, otherwise it will be installing out here. Okay, so to import the Plotly library, so you can use, like, Plotly. There are two things in Plotly. One is Plotly expression, another is Plotly Go, graph object. So basically the Plotly Express is the high level interface for common plotting needs, and Plotly Go is the low level interface for customizations of your graphs. Okay, so let's create some data points, and then those data points we'll be using. So I'm creating some sample data. Okay. We'll create a sample random, we'll create some dates, and then we'll create some random values. Okay. So we'll see, how the data looks like. It's a date and we are doing some cumulative, addition of it. So this cum sum is used for, cumulative addition. We are creating a normal data in which your mean is 100 and then standard deviation is 30. Okay, so we are creating 30 odd data points out here. Okay, so tail also we can look into it. See, this is how it is. So let's directly move to the line scatter plot. So basic line scatter plot is just like the matplotlib thing. So but here we are creating using our Plotly Express. So basically, so this simple line plot, we are creating the, we are importing this px px dot line. So in the px dot line we are passing our data frame, and then we are also passing our x value and y value. Okay, and then we are giving the title of that particular line. Okay, and this is the layout of it, and we are showing the legends also. So what is the title of, like, next title and y title, and we are showing the legends also. Okay, what is the value of this? So see, how it comes. So see, when you click on it, the value comes, right? So date equal to date is on 9th January, the value was this thing, when so this is quite interactive in nature. The Plotly, the other two, Seaborn and Matplotlib, doesn't have this interactive feature. So this is something that, that looks pretty nice also, and it's quite interactive. And then there are functions here, like you can download this plot and you can zoom it out, then you can pan it out and zoom in and zoom out is there. Okay, and then you can auto scale also these things. So let's try it out. See, this is how it will look like. So you can zoom out also, and so this is how you will be able to see that graph. And then we will move to, let's move to the next part. The next part is we will customize a scatter plot using the graph object. So graph object, as I told you, is mostly used to, customize a particular graph. So this same scatter plot that we, the line graph that we saw, it is a little bit different one. So we are giving you, this scatter plot. We are trying to have the values out there. So the symbol is circle. So let's first run it out and see how it looks like. So see, what happens is, in the same line plot here, so we are also, right now we are giving the pointers, that the number of values, actual data points. So in that previous graph the actual data point was not there. So in this part, what is happening is, so we added a trace. So basically we are giving the scatter, the go dot scatter. Using go dot scatter, we are giving that, mode is marker plus lines. So, this, we are having this marker also, and the marker also, and the lines also. Okay, and name of the, which is value, and, we wanted a color of royal blue, and width of 2. So we can change the width also. And marker dict, we wanted a size of 8, and symbol is circle. So you can, instead of circle, you can change it to square also. And if you want to change this line width also, you can change it little bit higher. This we can again make it little bit bigger and run it out. So see, everything has thickened a bit. And if it was initially, if you wanted only two, so this will be two, and this is the square pointers. So instead of that, maybe I'll move back to the circle part itself. So circle is how it was looking like. Yeah. And then next part, we are going to the bar charts. So bar charts, basically again, we are creating some random data points here, and then we are creating bar charts using px.bar. So remember, like in the first part, we did uh, create using px.line. So in bar chart, we are using px.bar. So just giving the categories here, and then giving the values, x will be the categories and y will be the values of it. So this is very simple bar chart. So just run it out, and we are able to see that, in the x category, x is the categories and y is the values. And when you hover it here, you can get the x and y values out there also. Okay, so this interactivity is not there in your matplotlib or seaborn, but it is there in plotly. So next part, we are looking into the group bar chart. So what we are trying to do is, we are trying to create the categories. Let's create a data frame, df group. So df group, we will just try to create some random data. So basically, how categories and group will look like. So this might, I'll just do the df group. So df group, what we are trying to do is, we are just multiplying the group into two. So all this a b c d we are having in twice. And then this group 1 and group 2. Group 1 I am taking in first 5 will be group 1, and first 5 second next 2 will be group 2. Okay, and then we are creating a random integer value between 10 and 50. Okay, and we did up to 10. So and then we are just passing this in our px.bar. So df group, and x will be giving the category, y will be giving the value of it, and then color will give the color. Okay, and then we'll give the title of it, group bar chart. Okay, so let's run it out. So the group bar chart. So basically, what is happening is, see, this group, this is group 1, and category A, and value is 11. So group 1 again, group 2, within category A, value 30. So you can see, what this is how the data look like. So basically, based on our grouping, we are doing it. So you could have done it based on category also. Okay, but we did it based on group. So because we just wanted to group within, make them a group, all these categories belong to particular group, and these things belong to other particular group, and the values can be different. So this is how your group chart will look like. Okay, so let's move to the next part. So we'll try to create some statistical plots. So we are creating some normal data. So there are three data points, normal, and then we are trying to create a box plot. So basically, these are the means of this these are the means, 0, 2, -1, and then these are the standard deviation. Okay, and now we'll look how we are trying to trace this graph. So basically, we'll just create the figure equal to go dot figure, and then for every within that figure, for we are trying to create the three. There are three data points in this figure, so we are trying to trace three figures on it. Okay, so we are creating three box plots. So y equal to this idx, and then data point. So we just let's run it out and see how it looks like. So see, the first point was, what we did was a random random with 0. 0 was mean, and 1 was the standard deviation here. Okay, the same here, it's 1, 2 is your mean, and the other it's 1.5 is the standard deviation. Okay, similarly, distribution 3, we had a -1 mean, and then 2 is standard deviation. Okay, so this is how the box plot looks like for this part. So now let's move to the histogram part. So to create histogram, you just need to do px.histogram, and then put your x values, whatever values. So we are again creating some random values out here and trying to create there are 30 bins that we are adding it out. So let's run it out. So this n equal to bins is number of bins that you need to have. So let's run it. So this is how your histogram will look like. You can create a lesser number of bins depending on your use case. See, this is how it is. Okay. So the next part is we are trying to create subplots. To make subplots, again we will be using make subplots of the plotly subplots. So first thing you need to import is from plotly.subplots, import make subplots. So this make plot subplot is a function from plotly subplots. So we'll create a figure using make subplots, and we'll have a number of rows and columns mentioned here. Then we can give the subplot titles here. So we are creating a line plot, bar chart, scatter plot, and box plot. So again, then to add traces. So basically, this will be small graphs that we will create, in this four subplot that we have. So first is we are creating a scatter plot, and then we'll do go dot bar plot, and then again we'll do the scatter plot and go dot box plot. Okay, and then we are the final layout. We are giving a height of 800, and we are making legend is false. So depending on your you can make it true also. That's up to you. So see what is happening. We are creating four different subplots. Each one is line plot, bar chart, scatter plot, and then box plot. Okay. So now let's move to the next part. So this interactive features is everywhere. So we'll show it in a better manner in this part. So let's create another scatter plot. So so we are creating a scatter plot here, and let's run it out and see. So what we did was basically we created the size of it, the color scale and everything we have mentioned. So what for the first time we created x and y, all these values random values of it. Then we have created the size and we have created the categories also. And then within this scatter plot we have created the markers. So this markers is important. Without markers it will be it will be an issue. So what we did was so depending on your size, so sizes we have created some random data. So depending upon your size, okay, so every every of this particular text will be from this so what we are doing, we are trying to create a category. So categories again from this ABC category. So we are choosing a category and then we are choosing this size. So basically we are trying to combine both of them, and then we are trying to whenever the hover will be there, then we will give the value. So see, when we are doing the hover part, we are getting the zero point 0.6. This category is A and size 46. So this is how interactive you can make in your plotly. And you it's very interactive. Just otherwise these features are not there in the other graphs in matplotlib. So whenever you're doing any EDA, plotly is the most part. So let's try to create a 3D plot. So basically this is so a 3D plot that we are trying to create. So basically it's what we have done is we are creating a z plot that is like np sine, then np square root of x square plus y square. Okay, this is how the this is xyz the xyz is normal. Again we have created some data points on x and y, and then z will be your sine of this x square plus y square square root. Okay, so let's try to figure it out. Okay, so you just need to give the the so what we need to do here to create a 3D surface plot, we need to create a go dot surface. So there where you need to mention what is your z axis, what is your y axis, what is your y axis, and rest of them is we'll need to update the layout. Basically we'll create the title, then x axis title and y axis title and z axis title. Okay, and then width and height you need to mention. Okay, so see, this is how you're interactive 3D plotting you can do. So this is 3D z which is based on the values of x and y. Okay, So Plotly has some predefined data sets also. So like we are using this px.data.gapminder. So let's see how this looks like, and then we'll plot this animated data. So basically, we are trying to show the GDP per capita of different countries, and then how their population wise this animation will work. Like, okay, so this is basically scatter plot, but it will be an animated version. So animation frame is the year, and based on the animation frame, you can change it out. So for this particular thing, we are just trying to have a year wise visualization of this data, how the population of this countries are looking like. So basically the data is like this: the country name and the continent name, and the year, what at what year, what was their life expectancy, what was the population, what was the GDP per capita. Okay, so this is a very important metric to check whether particular country is looking how they are going ahead and all those things. Okay, so and then there is an ISO number also, right? So let's see how this GDP per capita is increasing over the time. And this is for Afghanistan. It was in 1952, GDP per capita was 779 and all. Okay, so this is how it happened for Afghanistan. For others also, we'll look into it. Okay, so let's play this graph. So we had there is a play button created here, and so when you play it out, the whole thing will move as a movie sort of thing. It's animated version. You can see these are country wise. See, this is United States, this is Japan, and we are in 2007. So let's say if I manually do it. Okay, so in 1962, see, United States was the leading, then there was New Zealand in per capita, Netherlands, Sweden, and all those things. Then there is small version of Japan. This too big, Pakistan was also there, Uganda, and all those things were there. But the moment you increase it to, let's say, 72, the big populations is China, and again Vietnam, and all those smaller things are emerging out. So once you just try to increase it to maybe 87, then you will see that this is China and this is India is also coming up, but still the GDP per capita is very low for them. So let's make it 1997. Then China is slightly ahead of India and Pakistan. So let's make it 2007. So again, by 7 also it's slightly ahead, but this data is still only 2007. But by now it is it has leapfrogged everyone right now and just behind these things. Okay, initial. So this is how the animated version of this data will look like. So what you need to do is you need to mention this animation frame and hover name also, on which thing you want to show. Okay, and you can just change the names also, GDP per capita or life expectancy and everything. Okay, so see, the every initial days the life expectancy of these countries were also low, but the moment it it came to 2007, everything has increased. So now let's try to get some built-in theme. So you can change the layout, you can use Plotly dark, Plotly white, ggplots, or default is not the dark one. If you like a dark version of it, and so you can use the dark version of it, and then you can use ggplot, you can use seaborn. So based on your liking, you can use this thing. Okay, so this is something that you can try it out, and I'll just I'll try to move to the next part. So next part is we are trying to create interactive buttons. So basically, in this data, we are trying to have a log scale and linear scale also. So sometimes in the certain graphs you will be seeing that there are linear graphs. Like in COVID also, it was people were showing logarithmic graphs. So there was some interactive websites in which they were showing the linear graphs and also the logarithmic graph, the COVID cases and all those things in the world history website. So we are trying the same thing. So just check it out how it can look like. So you can just pause it here, and if you want to copy, just copy this thing and run it out. Okay. So basically, like, see, this is the linear one and this is the logarithmic part. So now when you click on, like, you can also click on it, and you can take a screenshot maybe, and in the same graph, or you can embed it somewhere. Okay. So both of the graphs are there in the same graph. Okay. So now let's move to the next part again. So we are trying to do is, like, we are again using the like, gap minded data, df.map, and here we are filtering the data is equal to 2007. So how the GDP per capita will look like, so this is basically a world map, that you can create using a simple Python that is available. So let's try to run it out. So see, the world map is world map is already given. Okay. And so this world map is created, and then this GDP per capita, so is this GDP per capita. See, this yellow version is the United States of America, and their GDP is pretty high. Then there are, lower countries like India, Pakistan, and so and so, and some African countries are also there. So this is based on 2007. So China was also not a high income country at that point of time. So now it has leapfrogged. So this is how you can, use the data. So for this we are using choropleth map. So basically, choropleth is, you need to give the, we are giving this we are filtering this data, using the DF map, and then this data is there for you. So you can, if you want to create, you can create this data point. So I hope you like the video. Do like, share, and subscribe. Thank you, everyone.